Henceforth, you are going to have elected municipalities. The elections will be on the basis of adult franchise, which is being established everywhere in India now. It is rather difficult for people to make good use of their franchise when most of them are illiterate and inexperienced. But it is the call of times, and we cannot act in any other way. One man's rule is much easier. It works more expeditiously and efficiently if he is the right man. On the other hand, popular rule is very difficult. It cannot be speedy. Everyone's opinion has to be taken, and all sorts of influences, pulls and pressures cause work to be done less efficiently than could otherwise be the case. The services who run the administration have also to adjust themselves. Hyderabad's economy today is in a bad shape. It has to be improved. The countryside needs hospitals, medicines, equipments. It needs education as much as food. The masses will not know the difference between freedom that makes their life except through a better and easier fulfillment of their needs. If we do not spend crores on maintaining the kind of army that will ensure India's integrity, we would be defaulters. One has to keep in view what a neighbor does. Pakistan says it has one enemy in the world, and that is India. As this is their openly declared opinion, we have to remain alert. I would rather wish that there were no fighting between India and Pakistan. Those who want war are insane. We have no such desire. We have to create conditions in both countries in which Hindus and Muslims can live amicably together. Especially in Hyderabad, I want to say, let us bury the past. The clean thing is to purge our hearts of animosity now that we have broadly achieved what we wanted. It is cowardice to hit a fallen person. We should rather give him a helping hand and lift him. The Muslims here are not foreigners. They are from among ourselves. Gandhiji always proclaimed that if we want true Swaraj, we should do away with untouchability. We should unite Hindus and Muslims. If we want to improve our economic condition, we should make our own cloth. Besides, we should have one national language. One of the 4 pillars Gandhiji tried to build Indian Swaraj to the end on his life. It was associated with him. 5 minutes before he died, he has been talking to me for an hour. Minutes later, a madman killed him. But his words live on in my mind. What did he want at this moment? He had wanted to go to Karachi to convince Muslim majority there that it was their interest to keep the Hindus well, just as he had tried to convince the Hindus here. He had worked for this day and night in the capital and in the country wide, because otherwise peace in the country was impossible. To Muslims in India, I appeal for a change in the heart in the interest of amity. They should also tell Pakistan that fighting solves no problems. Instead, the fighting that has been going on for 2 to 3 years, let them convince Kashmiri Muslims that if they favor Pakistan, we are not the one to keep them, but they want to remain with us. Ours is a secular state. It was not made secular for a few Kashmiri Muslims. There are 3 crore other Muslims too in India, almost as many as there are in Pakistan. Each one of them should try to convince their relations and friends of the futility of conflict. Let us end the era of conflict. Let them run their own affairs and let us run ours. Instead of pulling our legs, we only should cordially work together. There is enough water in Indus and the Punjab rivers for both countries. Let us sit down and talk it over peacefully. We have recently concluded an agreement of 7 days after 7 days of discussion. But the agreement would be deemed to have succeeded only if Hindu migrants return to Pakistan and Muslim migrants return to India. Otherwise, all talk of implementation of the agreement will be merely empty words. In our secular state, we have tried to ensure that Muslims enjoy all their rights as equal citizens. Any violation of this leads to reaction which is undesirable. We have trouble coping up with such reaction. Pakistan met the same problem by just eliminating its communal question. They evicted the minority. That kind of approach makes nonsense of the talks of amity. I am sure they'll have to agree ultimately to let the Hindus return to their homes and restore their properties. The same will hold good for Muslims here. The Muslims of Hyderabad should live in full confidence and security. They are citizens of India with the same rights as other citizens. If we cannot guarantee this, we are unfit to rule. We have to banish discrimination of castes and creed from Hyderabad. Hindus and Muslims must unite and improve the lot of the villagers for whom nothing has been done so far. I have come here to see things for myself, tell you that our aim and ideals, and find out your needs and ambitions. I want to dispel any apprehension that you may have. For one thing, I want to remove the impression that some people have that we harbor any in-feeling towards Hyderabad on account of the past mistakes of some people here. No such feeling. We harbor no such rancor. Let no one now nurse any ambitions to kill and gain so-called martyrdom. Whatever is legal is fully acceptable at whatever cost. Now it is up to the ministers to see what is to be done about the past crimes. The people who were responsible for these things in a big way have already run away. But I need your cooperation to ensure that no innocent person suffers in now at all. Another thing I want to say is that our decades of slavery not just in Hyderabad but all over India, have left us inert. Our millions of unemployed people must be turned to be more productive. In greater production lies India's redemption. Self-rule has raised many hopes and expectations, but these can be met only out of our greater production. There are some who think we should immediately apportion out whatever India has right now, but that would be sharing of poverty. That way, the communists want to work out, but it doesn't. It is madness. Even their mentors, the Chinese, have not done that way. Assault, murder, pillage among the poor villages is hardly the way communism itself works. I have said before, and let me warn again, that I will root out any such people. I have not seen such atrocities anywhere. What I particularly deplore is the sources of these people's arms and ammunition. Who are the brains behind these? Who are the brains behind this kind of thing? Are they from outside Hyderabad, or are they in the Nalgonda area? No. Out there they would be picked up by the military. They are right here in Hyderabad or Sikandrabad, sitting pretty. We have today given the Hyderabad administration an experienced person from our services, but we can ill afford to spare such people because we don't have too many. I too agree that local people should man the services as far as possible. But you should think of India as your country. If there are enough local people, they are bound to come up in India. All India, every province is open to such persons. About 5 or 6 crore rupees are being spent on police. According to me, it's a waste. That this is too much. Money would be much better spent on the Tungabhadra project, the Godavari project, the projects which will give us more food grains, more cotton. Hyderabad need never lack these things if the local politicians and the Hyderabad people have a strong and wise will. They have not even been able to handle their jobs of policing their area, with the result that police had to be brought from outside, from Madras, Mysore, etc. Under such conditions, complaints against outsiders have no meaning. Recently, there was some rioting and police firing in Raipur. It was poised abroad that it was a food riot. For one thing, people with a family of 4 draw rations for 14 and still expect rationing to work. For another thing, there was enough stock of food grains in Raipur, but the way to get it was to approach your own representative in the government, not to loot the stores, stone the police and create disorder. This is no way to run Swaraj. Such things bring bad name to your state. Hyderabad's bad reputation reflects on India's name. You may criticize the government of India and its administration today, but tomorrow you will have to run your own affairs. Let me warn you, power will come in your hands very soon. It is your heritage and you will have it. But you must prepare yourself for the responsibility. You must organize yourself and have big hearts. The Congress too must do likewise. It should keep the door open for good men, wise, able men who want to take part in politics should also be willing to follow the rules and disciplines involved in there.